If you're like me, you very well may turn your nose up at any kind of a knife that comes in one of these blister packs, which, by the way, you need a knife to get into. But I actually asked the folks at BTI Tools and Schrade to send me this one for a specific reason, and that's because it includes this SCAXE 10, which I think is one of the coolest little hatchets I've ever used. It also comes with a knife, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. But there's a special reason I think this is a really something maybe is worth looking at, and we're going to talk about that coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, as I said, I generally don't look for stuff in blister packs because very often that's not an indication of extremely high quality, just to be straight with you. It usually means they're sold in a big box store, and very often stuff that is sold in a big box store is specifically manufactured in order to meet a price point. So, but I actually saw this and I thought it was pretty cool because it includes this SCAXE 10, SCAXE 10 from Schrade, which, by the way, is stinking sharp. I've already cut my finger on it. That's after biting the end of my tongue off today eating lunch. So there's that. By the way, it's not been a great day for me not getting wounded. But it does include the SCAXE 10, and they're calling this a hatchet machete combo. Yeah, whatever. I don't call this a machete. I call it an average size knife. But I think they're just, you know, it sounds better maybe for marketing hatchet machete versus hatchet knife. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty good size knife. So, and I don't have any specs on this. I couldn't really find the specs as far as knife, other than it is 3CR13 MOV steel, which is what the hatchet is. So probably not the greatest knife steel in the world, but stick around for just a minute and I'll tell you why I think still this is a very, very excellent value in a combo. And we will get to doing a little bit of that knife stuff here in just a minute too, I promise, and some hatchet stuff. So real briefly, I actually reviewed this hatchet a while back and did a kind of a one hatchet fire video with it, I think. And if you'll, I'll put a link to that video right up here in the corner. But this is a full Tang, very small camp hatchet. They call it maybe an SCAXE 10. I really like this hatchet. The balance is exceptional, and it feels really good in your hand. The weight, the weight ratio versus the size and length of the handle, for me, it is extremely ergonomic and does a very good job of chopping. So, and we're gonna take a quick look at that again, even if you maybe you haven't seen the first video. So we'll do a little bit of demo on that here, since we are not at my state-of-the-art testing facility. We're gonna go back to that and do the industry standard balancing test on these blades. But while we're here, we'll do some field testing. Now this is the knife that comes with the combo, and it is they're just calling it SCH Comp 6, so I guess this knife is specifically made for this combo. So it's probably designed to fit a price point, no doubt about it. It's a full Tang knife. Let me set that out of the way. It's a full Tang knife with an over molded handle, so it's got a pretty good sized Tang in here. It's really very lightweight. 3CR13 MOV steel, so obviously not, you know, it's not a super steel, and we'll go that far with it. And I know this is going to come as a big shock to you, but it is a hollow grind. So in case you were wondering, had any question whatsoever about that. But it does feel pretty good in your hand, this rubber grip. It's got kind of a finger groove here. I'm gonna say that's probably 8 inches blade, something like that. It's very slight recurve. The spine feels pretty sharp. Let's just have a quick check on that. Okay, so it does a good job on scraping a ferro rod, which is always a good thing to know. So, but anyway, there's that. So and one thing I do want to say is, if you get one of these, and when I tell you about the reason I decided to review this, you may want to. When you take it out of the blister pack, you'll notice first of all that this blade won't go down in here because, man, those I guess those sneaky Chinese stuffed, at least in my case, the oxygen absorber or moisture absorber little packet they put in here to keep these things from rusting while they're on the boat on the way from China. Down inside here, and maybe my fingers are fat, but it took me probably 5 minutes, literally, which doesn't sound like a long time unless you're trying to do it, to get that little thing out of there. But it's out now, and you can see this is not a very high-end sheath, okay? This is just a, Cordura nylon style sheath, no plastic liner or anything. It's got one snap on it, and it's got just a regular belt loop, that you got to slide your belt through. Nothing fancy at all, but it is very functional, and it should last at least a little while. The sheath on the hatchet, on the other hand, is one of those snap plastic sheaths with a molded belt loop on back of it. In my experience, these things actually work pretty good, and I'm not going to carry this on my belt anyway, but it does protect the blade very well. And I've had one of these probably for about 2.5 years that I carry camping with the Boy Scouts, and the snap still works just fine. It's been used a pretty good bit, and it just works fine. So there's that. So now, without any more of this old rambling that's going on right now, I'm going to take you down to the old fallen treetop, we'll call it. Do a little bit of chopping stuff, a little bit of knife stuff, see how this thing works before we get back to the worldwide headquarters of Survival on Purpose, to the high-tech testing facility we have there to do the balance test. Okay, I got a down tree here. I don't know what kind of wood it is. This feels pretty hard though. I got to say, I had somebody who was obviously kind of trying to be a jerk make a comment on one of my older cables type survival saw videos because of the logs flopping around. Said, I can see that you always, try to find the most unstable piece of wood or something like that to cut on. And I thought, okay, whatever. Yeah, I do when I'm testing something, because I want to try to at least simulate, if it's going to be something you're going to use in the woods, chances are you're not going to find a bunch of sawhorses or, chopping blocks in the woods. So, in the wilderness anyway, so we're just going to use this one here. It's got a little shake to it, which is certainly going to cut down on the efficiency of the tool a little bit because it's going to absorb some of the blows, but oh well, deal with it. This is the kind of stuff you're going to find in the real world. I'm going to try to chop this one about right here, so I got enough room to chop on it with the knife over here. But to show you how well this little hatchet works. Now, it's got a lanyard on it. Not a big fan of that, but we're going to use it anyway. So we'll just start right here and just chop away. So kind of rotted here and broke, but it cut through, so pretty good there. Okay, so since I have a hatchet, I'm not going to try to chop the big log with a machete. Machete, as they call it. I'm going to call it a big knife. We're going to use a couple of these little things here, just see how well it does. And then going to do a little more different stuff and wrap this up. So let's just chop here and see. And it is moving a little bit. There you go. So, not bad actually. Wanted to, the grip, I really just kind of want to see how it feels with chopping. That's okay. Just a little bit of flare out on at the very end does help your hands stay in place, because my hand's going to be down here when I'm chopping to get the maximum amount of leverage, not up here. That's what I'm going to use for more knife tasks. So speaking of that, let's try some knife tasks. We got some skeeters here, so we're going to try to make this snappy, but let me just go ahead and see if I can chop this down just a little bit. I think this might be hickory, and this is like 2 days after the hurricane came through Atlanta. So, man, these skeeters are crazy. So everything's a little bit damp, but we're going to see how it goes. Let me see if I can clear this out of a flat spot here. You won't be able to see that anyway, but let's just try it and see. I did not have my thermocell with me. Just dropped it down there. Let's try something else. It'll be a little better, I think, with a flat edge on it. It's curl. I think this is hickory. It's either hickory or oak, neither of which are my favorite feather woods. Not to mention with the mosquitoes feasting upon my flesh. But just real quickly, just to show you, it will it'll make some feathers. And that again was the hatchet. So let's see if we can. Now where I had problems with the hatchet on the 1-axe fire was in actually striking the ferro rod. So let me zip this thing back up so I don't cut myself again, and we'll take a look at the machete now. See how well this thing does a couple of those knife tasks. So it is bigger, but I predict because of the hollow grind, it's going to do really good. Hollow grinds do really good for carving stuff. Maybe not so much for machete stuff, but oh man, the mosquitoes wear me out. Okay, I'm making a mess. Let's try this. What if we do a little scraping here? This is not fat wood either, this is just the regular wood. Whatever it is, the hickory or oak or whatever it is. A little bit of fuzz there. Put it right there. Let's just real quickly see if we can do something with this. Everything's damp like I told you, so this may not be a successful test, but finally we got a little flame there, as you can see. Damp or not. There we go. We're going to let that burn itself out here, because I'm not too concerned about forest fires. It's very, very wet, but we're going to make sure it's out anyway. All the way. Smokey and the Bear needs you, right? So anyway, there's that. Golly, mosquitoes are eating me up. So we're going to conclude the field testing of this combo here, and then we're going to get back to the Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters, to the advanced testing facility we have there. Put these things through the balance, orientation, and rotation device to make sure they pass that. And then I promise I will tell you why I decided to check this out and why I think it might be worth you checking out. Okay, we're back here at the cutting edge testing facility at the Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters, and about to check out the SCAX-10 hatchet and the Schrade. I guess this is just a combo machete. The name, the number on it is the same as on the combo, SCHCOM6. So we're gonna check these out on the balance, orientation, and rotation device, balance testing facility here. See how they work, and we'll wrap this up. Not bad. We're going to call that one a win. So I could do this all day long, literally. And by the way, I really do like dogs, but man, this is really, you know, now they have 3 dogs. Anyway, I said I was going to tell you why I thought that this combo was really, in my opinion, a no-brainer purchase. Even though this knife is not super steel, it's 3CR13 MOV steel, so definitely not the greatest steel in the world. It's a hollow grind. They're calling it a machete. I'm calling it a knife, but it is a full tang. It is very comfortable, very lightweight, so it's extremely wieldy. It's got a sharp spine on it. It's got the Schrade patented hollow grind. But the combo comes with what I think is one of the coolest, most functional, at least one of my favorite little camp hatchets of all times, the SCAX E10. And here's why I think it's such a good deal. So if you go to Amazon, you want to buy the SCAX E10, it's going to cost you, at the time of this video, $26.17, okay, for this. Or you can buy this combo for $27.67, which essentially means that you're getting this knife for $1.50. Now, like I said, this is not the greatest knife in the world, but it seems very functional. It did a pretty good job, and hands down, no questions, I have no problem at all saying this is well worth $1.50. Okay, it's a full tang knife. It's best steel or not steel, $1.50 basically, and you get the really nice little camp hatchet, which is a full tang hatchet, and it just works very well. I really like this hatchet for camp type use, kindling and just firewood stuff, you know, carving, chopping notches or whatever. You know, you can actually, it actually carved okay. It's just a, in my opinion, a very useful, handy little hatchet, and as you saw, it is very well balanced. So anyway, that's the Schrade SCHCOM6 knife and machete combo. Thanks again to the folks at BTI Tools and Schrade for sending me these so I can show them to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and every Saturday. Very often random videos throughout the week. You can check out a new one by clicking right over here. If you're not subscribed, please click right down there and do it. I would really appreciate it. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.